CTV Calgary, local breaking news.
Good afternoon. One person has died after being hit by a vehicle this morning. Pagan Trail was closed in both directions for several hours from 84th Street to 100th Street southeast. The investigation continues, but police say the driver of the vehicle did remain on the scene. There have now been 33 fatal collisions in our city in 2025, the most in the past 10 years. A fourth youth has been arrested in connection with the death of Carter Spivak Villeneuve. A 16-year-old boy was arrested yesterday and has been charged with first-degree murder. Carter was found dead in the 300 block of Abergale Drive Northeast around 1 a.m. August 1st. Homicide detectives allege that a group of teens were involved in some sort of dispute with Carter and had arranged to meet him that night. Earlier this month, 3 15-year-olds were charged with first-degree murder. Thousands of healthcare workers could be on the picket lines on Saturday morning. The Alberta Union of Provincial Employees serving strike notice after negotiations fell through with the province. Union members, which covers licensed practical nurses and healthcare aides, voted 98% in favor of strike action earlier this month. They say while talks have not gone as they hoped, they are still open to negotiating.
We remain ready to return to the table. We remain committed to reaching a fair agreement. But make no mistake, our members will not back down from what is right, what is just, and what is necessary.
If nothing is resolved, workers would walk off the job at 8:30 a.m. Saturday. Major sticking points have been compensation for licensed practical nurses and a reduction of annual hours. The province is once again invoking the notwithstanding clause, this time to push forward new legislation affecting transgender youth. Bill 9 was introduced at the legislature yesterday, and the response has been swift. Advocacy groups, teachers, and labor leaders say Bill 9 could put some of Alberta's most vulnerable youth at risk, while the province argues it's about protecting children and parents. The bill outlines several restrictions, including bans on hormone therapy and gender-affirming surgery for kids under 16, opt-in only sex education, and a ban on trans athletes over 12 competing in female amateur sports if they don't have proof of sex at birth. The government is using the notwithstanding clause to push the bill forward the second time this fall after ending the teachers' strike with it last month.
This government does not turn to the notwithstanding clause unless the stakes warrant it. And in this case, the stakes could not be higher.
Every time this Premier talks about these bills, there's a spike in hate crimes. We have seen a massive spike in hate crimes at the university alone. And that this is more people are going to get hurt, more people are going to die. We've got to come together.
The Alberta Federation of Labor calls the preemptive use of the clause a direct attack on human rights. There is also a rally being organized by Queer Citizens United for tomorrow afternoon outside the McDougall Centre. Ophthalmologists are urging the province not to go ahead with plans to let optometrists perform some surgeries and laser eye treatments. Both eye specialists complete an undergrad degree, but after that, optometrists get a 4-year professional degree, while ophthalmologists get 9 years of medical training. The provincial government says it's working with the College of Optometrists in Alberta to broaden their scope of practice, which would require first passing some tests. The Canadian Ophthalmologic Society says handing over even seemingly minor procedures to optometrists is very unsafe for patients. An Airdrie man faces 3 counts of voyeurism after incidents in 2 shopping malls in Calgary last summer. Police say the first incident involved a girl being recorded with a cell phone inside a fitting room at the Chinook Centre location of Sport Chek in June. In July, a woman noticed a man near a fitting room at Winners at Northland Mall and found a phone on the floor of the fitting room. Police say they reviewed security footage from Winners and found the suspect following and filming an 8-year-old girl. Last week, they searched a man's home, seized 7 cell phones, a hard drive, and other electronic devices.
From the victim's perspective, it's very unsettling. They're in a location where, they believe that, they have a right to privacy in that type of a setting. So, yeah, and when anybody's surreptitiously recording you, it makes them feel incredibly uneasy.
25-year-old Benjamin Ryan Turcotte returns to court on Monday, December 8th. A Calgary arts group is tackling cyber fraud and phishing scams in a creative way. A group of seniors at Clover Living in Chinatown were treated to a puppet show on Tuesday. It focused on scams and frauds that target seniors. Calgary's Animated Object Society brings the show to several other senior facilities this week.
We have Don, who's a crow. He's the hero. He comes fishing, and he catches this catfish, and it's actually a cat dressed as a fish. And then the cat starts trying to scam him, steals his phone away from him, and then they go through a series of things that scammers do to try to trick you. And Don is really smart, so he manages to kind of stop him from scamming him.
The Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre says Canadians have lost $544 million to fraud so far this year. Thanks for joining us. We'll have more on the top stories coming up on CTV News at 5 and 6 or anytime online at ctvnews.ca/Calgary.